Hi, Curtis.
Hello, David. How are you doing?
I'm well, and how are you?
I'm fine. Well, thank you for asking. Everyone healthy in your house?
Everybody is healthy in my house. How about your
Good.
place?
Same here. Same here. Well, this is sort of not really a Scoutcast LA episode, but really, I mean, it could be. We just wanted to take a moment to disseminate some information that came down from National. And Jonathan, unfortunately, my regular co-host for Scoutcast LA is busy working right now. But so we wanted to take a time and disseminate some information and make sure that everybody that needs it has it and understands what all uh, the ever changing new rules are.
That sounds like a great idea, Curtis. I'm glad we're doing this. I bet there are a lot of questions.
There are, and you know what? It was funny because there's a whole thing that's come down from National that I wasn't even that familiar with. You turned me onto it, and so we just wanted to make sure that a lot of people got it. Why don't you? Can you tell us where it can be found? So if people need information.
That's an excellent segue. So I'm actually going to pull it up right here, and this is mostly what we're going to talk about. So you can go to www.scouting.org/coronavirus slash COVID-19-FAC. You can see it on the screen there if you're watching live in person, or even not live in person, I guess recorded.
Recorded is fine.
Yeah,
If you're not
absolutely.
watching live, we'll forgive you.
Yeah. So
So
these are the COVID-19 facts from the Boy Scouts of America, directly from National. And I know almost everybody got an email copy of this earlier this week, that may have come from National or probably came from Eddie Rodriguez, council wide, so that folks can understand it. But I think there's so many questions out there.
well, and part of it is also there's a lot of email that is being generated back and forth that's just Scout related. So I had to go back and search for this email
Mhm.
because you're getting things from council, you're getting things from national, you're getting things from your Scout units, and if you're involved with multiple Scout units, you're getting things from both of those. And so we thought it would be pertinent, since this is really one of the most important things that you should be paying attention to. We wanted to make sure that everyone not only got this but understood what it said and what it meant.
Absolutely. And I think we should just dive right in. And, it's a frequently asked question. So I think we'll just do question and answer and
Absolutely.
comment as we go through that.
So, well, the first thing to that before we get in, we should point out that with everything that's going on with quarantining and with COVID-19, this is a dynamic situation, and so we're reading things right now that have been released from National, and they have dates, and those dates are most likely going to change. So please keep on going back and referring to the updated Q&A, because I'm sure that as the situation changes, um, they will be updating. And also, it also depends on where you are. Like, we're in California, and our governor has already said that until April 18th is we're supposed to self quarantine. So, so some of the dates in this Q&A already don't sort of apply to us because they are until the end of March. So but with that, let's jump right in. The first question: should we hold in-person Scout meetings, outings, or activities?
Should
So,
we? I don't think we should. Let's read it.
uh,
I'm just going to read you what it says.
okay.
With safety in mind and based on guidance from the national health officials, the Boy Scouts of America strongly advise that in-person meetings, activities, events, and gatherings of 10 or more people be suspended through the end of March. This applies to youth, adult, out of an abundance of caution. Please also follow any restrictions outlined by your state and local health departments or other officials, which is key for us, right, Curtis? Because
Absolutely.
right now, our state officials have said May
That
18th, right?
there, April
April, I'm
18th.
sorry, April 18th, right? May,
Yes.
right, April
And
18th.
so also one of the things I want to point out is I even had a thought. I'm like, well, you know what? I suppose we could do a hike.
Mm-hmm.
We could do a pack hike, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
This is things I was entertaining. I also happen to live where hiking is, very popular hiking locations are within a 15-minute walk from my house.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife and I have been going hiking daily, and I'm amazed at the number of people that we're seeing out there. So even if you're thinking, you know what, I can do an activity, that we're out by ourselves. It's really, the idea is safer at home.
Yeah, and the social distancing thing. We've been walking in our neighborhood as well, and we're seeing a lot of people, and we're giving everybody a lot of room. But if you think about getting your pack together or my troop together, if you've got 10 people and everybody is 6 feet away, that's a lot of space. It's going to be hard to kind of do that on a
Yeah.
trail, pretty much anywhere. So I think right now, safer at home is really, that's probably the thing that people should be thinking about.
So, next question: what do we do about Scouts fundraising
Well,
activities?
that's a great idea. So let's ask that. So let's read their answer. The BSA strongly advised that in-person activities are suspended through the end of March, and again, we're going to say mid-April. So any in-person fundraising should be postponed. If fundraising activities can be facilitated using digital methods while still adhering to applicable rules, then those activities may continue. For plans beyond that date, the BSA will continue to monitor the guidance as the COVID-19 pandemic evolves and will further update guidance accordingly. So it says it right there.
So it says right there. I mean, really, any fundraising that you're going to do that is involving other people, really, you shouldn't.
Yeah, unless you can
Things
do
can
it
be
online.
done. Things can be done online.
Yep.
Things can be ordered. Emails can be sent out. That's all. That stuff is fine.
Yep.
But nothing. We were going to have a table and sell our fundraising wares. We're just not doing that.
Yep. And probably right now that's probably the right thing to do. So let's get to the next question.
What is BSA's policy on social distancing in a tenting environment when camping?
And again, the answer that they provide here is with safety in mind and based on the guidance from national health officials. The Boy Scouts of America is strongly advising that in-person meetings, activities, events, and gatherings of 10 or more people be suspended through the end of March.
Or in this case, April 18th.
Yes.
This applies to youth and adults out of an abundance of caution. Please also follow any restrictions outlined by your state or local. Yeah.
I think we should talk about it. I think the council guidelines right now that came out from WLACC is we're really not supposed to be doing anything right now.
No. And camping. One of the problems with COVID-19 is that you can be exposed and be exposing people for 2 weeks before that you realize that you are even sick. And so, with that being as it is, really, there's no safe time to be with other people right now.
Yep, absolutely. And the last part of this answer was, beyond the time frame, tent buddies should not participate if ill. There is no formal policy on social distancing in tents. Just as there is no prohibition on tenting alone, if logistics can accommodate that request. So if you're sick, stay home. And that's just
and the problem with that is with COVID-19 in particular, you don't know if you're sick.
Yep. That's a good point.
And you may be sick and contagious and feel fine.
Right. Absolutely.
So out of an abundance of caution, we are just advising against any type of activity with other people.
Yep.
Do you want to take the next question?
Absolutely. So if council and district events are canceled, how should units decide whether to cancel or postpone their own events?
With safety in mind and based on guidance from national health officials, the Boy Scouts of America is strongly advising that in-person meetings, activities, events, and gatherings are suspended through the end of March, or in our case, April 18th. So you may have that may sound oddly familiar. So the answer to all of these questions is don't go out and do events.
Yep. Pretty straightforward. And I know even some of our events past April 18th have been canceled. Just from a preparation standpoint, a lot of the camporees were going to happen in that period of time or just slightly after that April 18th date. And pretty much right now, everything's on hold.
Yeah, and you and I are both involved in Wood Badge, and that is not until November or October and November. But we are figuring out how to do all of our trainings online and prepare, and hopefully Wood Badge is going to happen.
Yep.
But at this point, it's still a very fluid, dynamic situation, so we're not even sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, the next question.
Well, next category. Let's talk about advancement.
Well, there's one more here. There's a
is that? Did I miss one?
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Sorry.
Yeah. So what are the
refund?
What are the refund policies if I've already paid for an event that has been canceled?
Well, event organizers typically set refund or cancellation policies. Please reach out directly to those organizers. In the case of attendance at a national high adventure base, contact them directly about your crew. I would have a hard time right now believing that you wouldn't be able to get refunds on things that you've paid for.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
won't be a problem. All right, well, let's jump into that advancement section because I know I've actually been getting calls about this in lots of different advancement questions. So,
how can advancement be tracked remotely?
So, scouting units should be using Scoutbook to record and track advancement. To track advancement remotely, parents should connect to their child's member profile via an invitation sent by the unit leader from Scoutbook. You may also connect to your youth via the scouting app with the Add a Parent connection. Once that connection is made, the parent should use the scouting app found both in the App Store or on Google Play and stay connected with your unit. And the last bullet here is the scouting app provides parents the ability to report any advancement that was completed at home. To learn more about how to use Scoutbook and how to connect the parents to their scouts, please see scoutbook.com. Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and this is talking about mainly about programs other than Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
So, but with Cub Scouts, which is the next section.
And I'm kind of vague on that too, because usually you don't do advancement. Well, advancement sign-offs for my program, the Scouts BSA program, is typically by a unit leader or an older scout that's already passed through that. So we're going to track this and we'll see how this goes. But let's talk about Cub Scout advancement.
So the Cub Scout, the first question, may parents sign off on Webelow and Arrow of Light requirements?
And the answer to that is yes, through July 31st, 2020. Parents and other adults in the Cub Scouts family may sign off on Webelow and Arrow of Light requirements. We strongly encourage that the parents use the scouting app or Scoutbook to record the completion of their child's requirements.
Now, I would just like to add to that, if that's something that you don't, if you're a parent of a Webelow or Arrow of Light and you haven't used Scoutbook, or your pack doesn't use Scoutbook or doesn't yet use Scoutbook yet, well, you can still sign off. Just go through your pack leadership, go through your den leader, go through your Cub master, and just tell them that yes, my scout has completed all his requirements. Can you please sign off on him for me? And that shouldn't be a problem. If it is a problem, I would say talk to your district executive and find out what the problem is, because this is coming from national, that this is something that is allowed.
Absolutely. All right. So if my den is behind in advancement due to COVID-19, can my Cub Scout continue to work on advancement through the summer?
So this is something that's really interesting. Typically at the end of the summer is you start to work on the next year. And I was, this is a question that I had. I'm like, what do I do with my scouts who haven't been able to finish the program that they're in? How am I going to bridge them up to the next level? And so, yes, Cub Scouts can continue to work on their current DENS advancements through July 31st, 2020. This is to provide any additional time a Cub Scout needs to complete their badge of rank. If they earn their badge of rank prior to July 31st, 2020, they may advance to the next rank.
And I'm glad they're taking care of that.
Yes.
All right, the next section here is advancement in the Scouts BSA, venturing, and Sea Scout programs.
May merit badge requirements or rank requirements be modified?
And the answer to that question is no.
No.
All requirements must be completed as written. If meetings or activities are canceled or limited, you should work to continue on working on those requirements as far as possible. By employing common sense and creative solutions, many requirements, even Scoutmaster conferences, can be fulfilled through teleconferencing or phone calls.
So that's pretty self-explanatory. It's still the program, and we're still following it.
Yep.
And you just want to make sure that you're not modifying it. You're just finding creative solutions to the problems that you may face with your unit.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my unit, we're doing merit badges online, and there are some things you have to do to get together. So we're doing all the other parts that we can, and we're saving those for when we get back to normal, because that's what will happen.
Can merit badge counselors or Supernova counseling be done using digital technologies like Zoom or WebEx?
And the answer to that is yes. Registered Merit Badge counselors or Nova counselors, Supernova mentors, may work with youth using digital platforms, ensuring that all youth protection measures are noted in the Guide to Safe Scouting, and BSA's social media guidelines are in place. In addition to youth protection, the advancement guides in the Guide to Advancement, Section 7, are required.
So this is a really interesting way to look at youth protection training. Even though you're not there one-on-one with a scout, if you are teleconferencing with a scout, youth protection training still pertains. So you either have to make sure that there's someone with you or someone with them, because you can't have one-on-one communications like that.
Right.
So
And this is actually nothing really new. This is all kind of just part of the program. Anytime I email, text, phone call, or do a video conference with a scout, there always has to be somebody there on, and typically it's on their side, right? I will have somebody on my side of the conversation too for protection. But this is just all part of the normal program, and shouldn't be a surprise to anyone.
yeah, I'm saying there's probably a lot of people who haven't ever considered doing this over teleconferencing.
Yeah, that's a
And
good point.
so that is, if you haven't done it and you're going to, you know,
Yep, just
youth
make sure.
protection still applies.
Yep. Just make sure you've got it. Okay, the next question is: may time missed due to canceled meetings count towards active participation requirements?
Yes. If youth are registered and in good standing, a disruption from COVID-19 virus can be the noteworthy circumstance that prevents the noteworthy circumstance that prevents participation. This policy has been in place for many years and is explained in GTA topic 4.2.3.1.
Yep, this is straightforward. This is just like a scouts on a baseball team, and they can't make meetings for a while, but they're still active and they're going on weekend events and whatever. But nothing very new. But it is a good point to point out to folks that this is not a hold on participation or time. This is all counted.
So, may time missed due to canceled unit meetings count towards? Wait, did I just read
No,
that again?
so this is a different question along the
May
same
time
line.
may time missed due to canceled unit meetings count towards position of responsibility requirements?
And the answer to that is yes. If youth are registered and unable to meet expectations of their positions because of the COVID-19 disruptions, then a unit may need to waive or rethink expectations. Just as a youth must not be held to unestablished expectations, they also must not be held to expectations that are impossible to fulfill. Again, see the Guide to Advancement topic 4.2.3.4, positions and responsibilities, and there are 6 subtopics. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The next question: does the National Council grant extensions of time to complete rank requirements beyond the 18th birthday for the Eagle or the 21st birthday for Summit or Quartermaster? And I want to read that a second time because this is the one that I'm getting phone calls, and RC at the office, and Andrew Sisolak went in. He said the voicemail was full. One more time. Does National Council grant extensions of time to complete rank requirements beyond the 18th birthday for an Eagle or the 21st birthday for a Summit or Quartermaster?
The answer is yes, but only for the Eagle Scout rank as described in GTA topic 9.0.4.0, or for Venturing Summit or Sea Scout Quartermaster as described in GTA topic 4.3.3.0. Unit leadership must become familiar with the 5 tests under 9.0.4.0. The tests were designed to accommodate such obstacles as those presented by COVID-19 disruptions. So if this is something that you are worried about, you have a scout that is about to Eagle and this is a problem, all of these numbers that we're saying are links, and they'll tell you exactly where to go and exactly what the rules and regulations are. So the short answer is yes.
All right, let's jump into this a little bit because there's only four tests for this, and it's pretty quick and easy.
Okay.
If I can pull it up right, give me a moment here. Here we go. So here's the 4 areas, right? The 4 possible areas that we're talking about. One is the member joined or rejoined or became active after a period of inactivity in time to complete the requirements before they're 18. Okay, this one not so much is an issue because obviously they're participating. Number 2, and here's one where I think we're talking about, a circumstance came to exist that now precludes completion before the deadline. What circumstance could that be? COVID-19. COVID-19. Examples may include a health-related incident, and I'm not even going to go into the details on that, right? So it could be the scout got sick, or it could be our community sick, right? So that's one of the reasons why we could have an extension. The third item is the circumstance is totally beyond the control of the youth member.
It's almost as if that one applies too.
Yeah, I think that one applies. And the last one is the circumstance is so severe and not the norm in the scout's life. I think that one applies too.
As well.
So we went through that really quick. Again, you can see that that topic in the Guide to Advancement, but there are multiple reasons right now why National is allowing those extensions. So
and I have a hard time believing that you're going to find any problems with, with your council or district or anyone. Everyone's in the same boat here.
Yeah,
so.
and in fact, we were told that we as a council level have been able to extend out 90 days on our own past a scout's birthday, 18th or 21st birthday, and still allow them to complete the work, process the stuff, put the paperwork in without even having to go to National for approval. So that's already in place today.
That's great. Next question. Will youth who are not yet Life Scouts be allowed to apply for an extension to earn the Eagle Scout rank?
Okay, and the answer to that is extensions are considered only for the scouts who are life rank. If once a scout achieves life rank, it turns out that the COVID-19 disruptions along the way have left them with insufficient time to complete the Eagle requirements, then this may be cited when it comes time to submit an extension request.
Which is basically what we just said.
Yeah, basically.
And the next question, may local councils grant extensions?
And the answer to that is normally it's not allowed. However, due to the current situation, effective immediately and through September 30th, 2020, the Scout Council executives may grant extensions or delegate authority to the Council Advancement Committee to grant extensions under the following limitations. 1, it can be established that COVID-19 disruptions were the only circumstance that delayed the work. And I'm not going to read the rest of that. Number 2, extensions shall only be granted to youth in the Scouts BSA program who have already achieved life rank. Well, that's because you have to be a Life Scout for 6 months. So if you hadn't gotten there, the 90 days isn't going to help you. Number 3, when a council receives a COVID-19 related request for a time extension, the council reviews the request and approves it if appropriate. A written response statement to the outcome of the extension request must go to the youth. If approved, the notification must be attached to the Youth Eagle Summit Quartermaster rank applications. For the Eagle, the extension must not exceed 3 months from the youth's 18th birthday. For the Summit or Quartermaster, the extension must not exceed 3 months past the youth's 21st birthday. And number 4, actually there's more than 4. Number 4, upon turning 18, the Scout must submit a completed adult application and successfully complete youth protection. Their participation code will now be UP for the Scouts BSA or VP for the Venturing and Sea Scout. That's the code that you put on your application. Council office will help you with that. And then the 5th item here is extension requests for more than 3 months beyond the youth's 18th or 21st birthday must be sent to National Service Center following the processes outlined in GTA. So basically, the council can do 90 days past those dates, the 18th or 21st. Beyond that, if there's other extenuating circumstances, the council will review it, agree, and then we'll send it on to National, and National has the ability to extend out beyond that.
And just to recap, the authority for councils to grant extensions is temporary, and it only goes through September 30th.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And then the note here is a month in BSA advancement is defined as the day from 1 month to the next, for example, from March 5th to April 5th. And then, you covered the next thing. Okay, let's ask the next question.
So question, if youth have already received an extension, can they request additional time due to COVID-19?
Yes, is the answer to that. The Council Scout Executive may grant extensions or delegate authority to the Council Advancement Committee to grant extensions under the limitations listed above. Pretty straightforward. The next question is, what should be done while an extension request is being considered?
Well, youth should continue to work on advancement insofar as they are able. They can do independent or over the phone or teleconferencing or video conferencing, and at scouting activities once they resume.
Excellent. Then the next question, are extensions required when an Eagle, Summit, Quartermaster board review must be delayed?
No. Councils may grant Eagle, Summit, Quartermaster board reviews up to 6 months after the youth's 18th, 21st birthday. So if you have questions about that, there are some links that you can follow and get the exact rules and regulations.
And being our district's advancement chair, this is a pretty typical thing. You know, the book gets turned in on the scout's 18th birthday. I have 3 to 6 months to actually do the board. This is just kind of business as usual.
Yeah. Question, are electronic or digital signatures acceptable for rank advancement or for the Eagle, Summit, Quartermaster packet applications?
And the answer to that is yes. Electronic or digital signatures will be accepted through September 30th, 2020.
Okay, we have one more question. How can a youth continue to work on advancement requirements if they don't have internet or high-speed internet for video conferencing?
The answer to that is a youth may take a picture of their completed activity requirement and share the work with its unit leaders. In keeping with youth protection training policies, all communications from youth should be sent to at least 2 adults. Parents or guardians may send advancement work on behalf of their child.
So if you have a problem, contact your leaders and they will help you solve those problems.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we got through those questions. They're pretty straightforward. I know there's a lot of, but what if, and does it apply to me? You know, this is just like any other requirement. It's straightforward. If it's here and it's written, you're covered by it. You know, if you're a youth and you're getting ready to do your Eagle or Summit or Quartermaster project and it got delayed, and I know there's a bunch in our district as well as other districts, there's an extension. You've got 90 days to work out a new plan for the work, to finish your book, finish up all the other things that you would need to finish up and get those things turned in. So be working on them, work with your unit leaders and your advancement committee and get that work done.
Yeah. So, and we're all in this together. If there's a problem, reach out and we will all do what we can to solve the problem. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
it's not like we don't all know what's going on.
Yeah. You know, we just keep at it. We just keep scouting, and you know, for a little while, scouting's going to be kind of more on your own, right, Kurtis? We're gonna be reading stuff and working through the things we can work through. I know there are a bunch of things that we're planning to do at a council, even at district level. We're going to be having some online merit badge classes. There's a program that Jeff Redner's putting together starting next weekend. I think kind of aimed at Cub Scouts, and there'll be other stuff too. So keep an eye on it. You can check the West LA County Council Facebook page as well as their website for more updates and information. And who knows, we may be bringing you another show or two as time goes on.
Or the whole council. I mean, I would say check out the council page.
Yep.
And that's going to have a lot of information for you. So.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you. I hope we answered some of your questions. I hope we cleared up some things that you were unclear about.
Yeah, I think we did. I think you did.
So thank you, David, for putting this together.
And thank you, Kurtis, for joining me to put this together.
No problem at all. So thank you, everybody. And until we meet again.
Yep.